Hello guys, how's everyone doing? And today I'm going to show you how to replace your parking light switch in a Tata Indica Vista. Now there's nothing particularly wrong with my parking light switch. As you could see, it just works, but the problem is the LED inside of the light is completely gone. So as you could see, the lights are currently on right now, and you can see these three buttons are glowing, but there is supposed to be an orange bulb inside of here that is, oh my god, the orange bulb inside of here has now completely went out. And because I'm such a perfectionist, I really want to get that working. So today in this video I'm going to show you how to replace this parking light switch with a new one. So the other day I was actually scrolling on Insta, and where I actually found out that the Vista actually comes with an illuminated parking light switch. Mine didn't have it, and I just thought it's just that way. So I quickly went to the nearest parts store, didn't find it, and then came back home sad, and then quickly jumped onto the favorite website bodomo.com. I quickly typed in all the part details and whatever it is and just ordered it, and just 4 days later the part was on my doorstep. And to carry out this job, it doesn't take much. You just need a simple screwdriver set, and because there are a couple of Phillips screws that we need to remove, so let's get to business. So in order to remove this particular trim, the first trim that you need to remove is the trim around the gauge cluster. So in order to do that, it's quite easy. All you need to do is just kind of grab the gauge cluster trim around the edge and just kind of pull it towards you, and it just kind of slides out like that. The next trim that we need to remove is this trim around the AC controls, and to do that, all you need to do is grab yourself a flathead screwdriver. And one tip to actually remove this trim is to wrap the top edge of the screwdriver with some electrical tape, so you don't end up scratching the panel around it. One thing that I want to tell you is, while pulling this out, don't pull it all the way, because the USB and the aux port is still attached, so you don't need to tug it completely. So let's just remove this and let it just hang off to the side, and that is all the trim that you need to remove. Okay, now that all the other trims are out of the way, you can see there are 4 screws that hold this panel in place. So you can see there are these 2 that hold this. You can see there are a total of 4 screws over here, and there are these 2, the inner ones, that hold this panel in. And if you move on to the top, you can see there are 2 more that hold this panel in, and all you need to do is just remove those, and this whole panel just comes right out. To remove those screws, all you need to do is get yourself this plus bit, and then just go around and start removing all the screws. Okay guys, so now that the panel is out, you can see we have access to all the buttons. Now to actually remove the button, we need to remove this panel as well, which is just held in by 2 screws, and this panel just comes out, and then we can swap the button in for the new one. Okay guys, so this is actually how the part comes in. You can see it comes in this baggage, and the switch actually comes attached with this particular fascia. This fascia is only used in the L variants of the Vista, which doesn't come with those extra demister buttons and stuff. But in the V variants, you actually need to remove this fascia from this switch. So in order to do that, you can see on the back of the switch there are these 2 clips, and all you need to do is kind of just push it in and remove this fascia. If your Vista is the L variant, this switch just directly screws in from here, but since ours is a V variant, all we need to do is just kind of press both the switches in, so the prongs in, and just pull this fascia out. This is not going to be used in our car. This is the only thing that will go back in. Okay, now in order to remove this switch, the first thing that we need to do is just disconnect the connector behind it, and there is just a small button on the connector. All you need to do is kind of press it in and just pull it out, well, just like that. And this connection is a bit tight, so don't stretch the wires too much. So you can see we have removed the switch, the connector from the old switch, and just to test it, I'm going to currently put the new switch back in, just like that, and just kind of presses in. You can see I have pressed it in, and the hazard light has turned on. And finally, when I turn on the lights of the car, you can see I finally have an illuminated hazard light switch. Okay, now in order to remove this switch is the same thing. You can see there are 2 clips that are in there. Now it's very difficult to shoot it, but you can see it's the same thing you did to remove the fascia out of this switch. So all you need to do is just press those prongs in, and just this switch slides out. Just slide in the new one, it would click in and just connect the connector, and that's a job done. So in order to remove the switch, you might require a flathead screwdriver because, well, there is not enough space in there. So all you need to do is just kind of press those clips in, and now this switch should slide right off. So there you go, out with the old and in with the new, and this new switch just slides in, connects just like how this was connected, and then we can all put everything back together. The new connector, make sure this is facing the right way up, just kind of slides in. Okay guys, so at this point the rain has really started to pick up, and so that's why rest of the video is going to be voiceover. Now to reassemble everything is quite easy. First, put in the main button switch into the back of the fascia. It just goes in by using 2 screws, and then in order to put in the fascia back, it kind of just clips in from the top, and then you should make your way to the bottom of the fascia, and then all you need to do is to put all the 4 screws back in and make sure they are properly tightened and snug. Okay, and the bottom panel is also easy enough to fit in. All you need to do is press those 3 tabs in on the top first, and then push the bottom of the panel in. And the gauge cluster is a bit tricky because there is a notch on the top middle, so you have to push that part in first, and then once that top is in, all you need to do is to push the both edges in. Okay guys, so we can see we have put the instrument cluster bezel back in. And all you need to do is just kind of press it in from top and then push it from these 2 sides. This panel was easy to put in, it just kind of pushes in, and this panel, as you saw, 4 screws, and now everything is back together. And well, while we are here, make sure everything works. You can see the fog light works, the hazard finally works, the defrost, the rear fogs, all of them are working. We didn't really touch these controls, but I'm just going to see if those work. So yeah, they are working brilliantly, and that is how you replace a parking light switch in a 2011 Tata Indica Vista. So if you find this video helpful enough, please make sure to drop a like and share your thoughts in the comment section below, and thanks everyone for watching.